Okay, 7th graders, hopefully you have this printed off from the notes on Canvas, or you can follow along, but you may have to make sure that you not only write what I write, but everything that's already on the page. So obviously it's going to be a little bit easier if you have this printed out to be able to take notes. Won't take as long. For vocabulary, I am going to tell you the definition. Ooh, that was a really bad. I meant to go like this. I'm going to tell you the definition of the word or phrase. I'm not going to write it down because I'll make the video way longer. However, you are expected to have a definition written down, and every once in a while you will have a vocabulary quiz where you can use your notes, and it will ask you for the definition and then the definition in your own words. So it's important that you have these written down. So a numerical expression is an expression made up of numbers and operations. We all know what numbers are. Operations are your adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. And then the order of operations is a rule for evaluating expressions. You may have remembered PEMDAS from 6th grade. And it's where you first perform the operations within grouping symbols, which is parentheses, the P, then evaluate powers, which is the E. Exponents is another word for powers. Then multiply and divide left to right, and then add and subtract from left to right. The multiplying and dividing from left to right and the adding and subtracting from left to right is something that a lot of people get incorrect. They think because the M comes before the D in PEMDAS that you multiply everything before you divide. That is incorrect. You go from left to right like you were reading a book. Once you hit here, and you do all your multiplying and dividing like you were reading a book, and then you do all your adding and subtracting like you were reading a book. So on example 1, we have 3 plus 15 divided by 5. Okay? In our order of operations, we have division before addition. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide the numbers on either side of the division sign. So we have 3 plus 15 divided by 5. These are the numbers on either side of the division sign, so 15 divided by 5 is 3. And then we only have one operation left that we can do, so we have to add and we get 6. B is a little bit longer of a problem. Okay, so we're going to first look. We have a subtraction, division, multiplication, and addition. Okay, now multiplication and division come first, but remember we're multiplying and dividing from left to right. So if we go left to right like we were reading a book, looking for multiplication and division, we come to a division sign first. So we are going to divide and multiply from left to right because we hit the division sign first. So if we look at the two numbers on either side of the division sign, we have 14 divided by 2. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Then we're going to multiply. We're going to look at both numbers on either side of the multiplication sign, which in this case is a little dot. That's another operation sign for multiplication, and 7 times 4 is 28. Now we're going to add and subtract from left to right as we come to them. Well, we get to subtraction first, so we're going to subtract first, and then we're going to add. So 44 minus 28 is 16, and then we can add because that's all there is left, and 16 plus 6 is 22. If you type those into a calculator exactly like they're given to you, you will get the wrong answer. Let me tell you, 44 minus 14 divided by 2 times 8 plus 6 gives me -6 if I were to type that into a calculator exactly as it shows it to me. However, that is not the answer. So don't just use a calculator. You will get the wrong answer, and I will know you used a calculator. So here we have another problem. This problem, we have parentheses. The first letter of PEMDAS is P, and that stands for parentheses. So we're going to perform the operation inside the parentheses. Now, if you have multiple operations inside the parentheses, you would follow PEMDAS and do the multiplication from left to right, and then the addition and subtraction from left to right. However, in this case, we only have one operation inside the parentheses, and it's multiplication. So we're going to multiply, okay, because that's what the parentheses is, and we get 12. And then we're going to divide, because division comes before subtraction, and we get 12 divided by 6 is 2, and then we're going to subtract, and we get 40. Okay, this next problem is like what I was telling you about. The parentheses are inside the brackets, so perform the operations inside the parentheses first. Those little square parentheses are called brackets, okay? And if there's parentheses inside those brackets, we solve what's in parentheses first. And there's more than one operation in that parentheses, so we have to solve this using PEMDAS. So we look and we have subtraction and multiplication. So we're going to multiply first, 26 minus 4 times 5, and we get 4 times 5, which is 20. Now we still have something inside the parentheses. We have subtraction. So 26 minus 20 is 6, but we can't forget about this plus 6 out here, so we need to bring it down. Then we do what's inside the brackets, because those are another set of parentheses. So we do 6 times 6, which is 12, and then we square 12. That is like saying 12 times 12. And 12 times 12 is 144. Okay, so if there are parentheses inside the brackets with multiple operations, you have to do the parentheses first and follow the order of operations for those. Those are a little tricky. You're going to want to take your time to make sure you're doing them right. Sandy runs 4 miles per day. She ran 5 days during the first week of the month, and then she only ran 3 days each week for the next 3 weeks. Simplify the expression 5 plus 3 times 4 to find out how many miles she ran last month. This one's nice because you don't actually have to set up the problem. They give you the story problem but tell you the problem in it. So we're going to perform inside the parentheses first. Now, again, there's multiple operations inside the parentheses, so we have to follow order of operations, and we multiply before we add. So 3 times 3 is 9. Now, there's still, because we have not completed all the operations, we keep these parentheses there to tell us we still have something to do inside the parentheses, because we're not going to multiply until everything inside that parentheses is done. So we have 5 plus 9, it tells us to add, which is 14. And then lastly, we multiply, because now the parentheses are gone, because we've done all of the adding and subtracting and multiplying inside the parentheses. And 14 times 4 is 56. So Sandy ran 56 miles last month. Now each day you're going to have a few problems you have to do to show me that you watched the video and that you understood the video. Because if you cannot do the 3 problems on Check It Out by yourself, that means one of a few things. Either you didn't watch the video, you watched it but you didn't pay attention, you watched it and you did pay attention, but you have questions that you need to ask. Now, if you can do 1 through 3 by yourself correctly the first time, I will know that you watched the video, you paid attention, and that you have no questions to ask. But seeing that you didn't get the right answer and being able to see, because you showed your work, what you did wrong, we can answer those questions quickly with these 3 problems instead of you going and spending an hour on your homework. Hopefully it doesn't take you that long, but just in case. And then coming to school and seeing that you did it all wrong because we didn't take the time to do a few problems in class to make sure you knew how to do them. We don't want to spend forever on these. We want to spend maybe 5 minutes total doing those 3 problems. and come get them checked so you can know, okay, I know how to do this. I'm going to be confident when I do my homework and I'm going to do good, or I don't know what I'm doing. I need to ask some questions, or yeah, I didn't watch the video. I need to go watch it and take notes, because if I don't, I'm not going to get a grade and I'm going to get a bunch of zeros and get a bad grade. So 5 minutes on those should be all it takes.